Good morning, good morning, good morning. Day 4, we at it. I told you last time or yesterday, day 3 usually is like the day that you kind of like struggle. And usually sometimes people will quit after day 3. Not us. We at it. Day 4, motivated. A lot more motivated today to essentially redo day 3 and do it and see like some improvements. Can I get a little bit better than what I did yesterday? So by the end of it, I was a lot happier than I was by the end of day 3. So legs feeling a little bit better. Rest was really good today, and then I was able to do a little bit better than what I did yesterday. And we'll cover all those things, but right now, just warm up. I'm starting to go like more at like 9 o'clock now because the sun's up around that time. And these areas are like starting to dry up. You can see how the court's still like a little wet. But I tend to try to go when the sun is up now just because I don't want to slip and stuff. But you can still train in the morning. You don't really need to go when the sun is up particularly. I'm just doing it for the surface, and it's better to record with some light out than it is at dark, when it's dark out, sorry. But if I wasn't recording it, then I would for sure be up earlier than this, juggling, doing skills, whatever, to improve. Can also do it really late at night as well, underneath the street lights and so on. Side shuffles, I tend to do everything twice. I know mentally I had a more positive attitude going into the day. Like, all right, taking the challenge, doing it again, trying to improve my touches, my focus, my energy, move more, etc. Really good day out for it. Karaoke. Again, these are just ideas for the kids to use, or anyone really who's watching it. Any ideas you can use on your own, you can do on your own to improve your touches for this week. Next week, we'll figure out something else that we want to improve on. But the main thing is challenges and doing something every day, 30 minutes to an hour. It can really be under 30 minutes or more than an hour. I just put it at that time frame. Because usually, by the end of like this 50-minute plus workout, like my GoPro's like already dying. So, and I already feel pretty good in that time frame anyway. So I just capped it at like a 30 to an hour is really like all you need. But you can do it multiple times a day. You can do it for more than an hour. You can do it less than 30 minutes, wherever you choose. But try to do something every day. Since we're working on touches, these past 2 days, if you include today and yesterday, I'm on the tennis court, so I can use that green wall. So it's like a rebounder. It can just bounce back, and I can work on different touches. Today I incorporated, the thigh, chest a little bit, while still doing like the wall work with the inside of my foot and laces, just to keep it up, essentially. Lots of touches. I don't particularly do a good job of counting while I'm doing all this kind of stuff, because I go until like I'm satisfied with the quality. But ideally I try to roughly go, 50 and up for all my reps. You can get to that number by piecing it together. I'm not really particular right now during this week of it has to be 1 to 50, no mess ups. I don't really care about that right now because this is the first week. It's like the beginner level. Well, for sure, once I get more into it, then yeah, it'll be like, all right, I'll be particular. Like, all right, I want to get to 300, but I'm only going to do 50 reps each, or I'll do 100 reps each, or I'll do 150. You know what I mean? Or straight through. Kicks. I know day 4, by the end of it, like even right now while I'm doing this voiceover, my quads are pretty, I wouldn't say sore. I just know that they just feel really activated. So it's a good feeling because I haven't done this in a long time. I know my hamstrings are a little activated, same with the groins and so on. So it's a good feeling that I'm essentially getting back in shape and knocking the rust off from my touches. So yeah, keep it up if you're doing it. Fight through it. The sweeps. One more round before my sprints. When I first started playing soccer, I would just go home and just juggle, be out in the parking lot working on skills, imagining that there's an opponent in front of me, trying to use all these kinds of skills that I've seen Ronaldinho do or some of my other favorite players do, and I would just copy those skills for hours. If I go to the field, it'll be the same thing, but I'm incorporating like shooting and all that kind of stuff. Just visualizing myself using the skill in game, but I'll do it at game speed. I would definitely go to specific fields with my buddy to work on shooting skills. You know, even running like 40 to 60 yards full sprint with the ball at my feet, trying to keep it close to me, like kind of like Messi, but do different types of skills like Ronaldinho, Iniesta, and all that kind of stuff. Just to get reps in. The goal here is to do 3 sprints, 3 jog backs, and then we get back into it. Warm-up takes about 6 to 8 minutes for me because I try to do everything twice. You can do it longer or shorter. And I'm typically doing the same thing every day. There's no like rhyme or reason why I'm doing these things. These are just common things that I've done over the years that I remember from typical warm-ups. All right, so we're going to go into it. We're going to start with, I think it was about 50 juggles, about knee and below height. It's a good way to warm up my feet, my touches. Try to keep it low at that range. You'll notice like the different types of spins of the ball. This ball is like spinning pretty fast and spinning like back towards me. It's because of the curve of my foot. Obviously you can juggle like that, but there's other ways you can juggle too. These are single leg juggles. You can call them flamingos if you want to. Again, 50 juggles with this, knee level or below. Right foot, trying to keep my balance. The right foot's pretty decent. It's a lot of like toe touches there. I kind of want to do a better job of hitting like the laces areas, like a flatter surface, so I can have more of a nose spin kind of ball. Left foot, this one's hard. My left foot's super weak and challenging for me. So I'll probably do multiple reps to get to 50 rather than all the way through. This is where it like builds muscle in the legs. That's why I say it feels like activated a lot because I'm doing a lot of single leg hops just to try to keep my balance, constantly readjusting and so on. But the goal is challenge myself to get to 50. of knee or below. Single leg with the left and right foot. I'm pumping it up with my left foot. Everything's with the left in this situation. This GoPro keeps skipping for some reason. Single leg now. Trying to get it to hip height, at least. Waist height. This is where I'm trying to really focus on, like minimum to no spin on the ball, and that's with the flat surface of my foot. I just got to get the angle correctly. The right foot's pretty decent for sure. Trying to get the 50 as well with this, I believe. But you'll see like the left foot, the ball will spin way more than what the right foot's doing right now. It's just a different type of feeling and so on when you get a nice smooth touch. It's easier and more consistent. But getting the angle of the foot down has been a challenge for me, especially with my left foot. And you'll see it's like the ball spinning sideways like that. It's because the angle of my foot, I'm not well practiced in it. So my foot likes to turn and so on. So just the more I do it, the more comfortable I'll get at it, and the less it will spin. Right now the ball's spinning a lot. That's the reason why the ball keeps popping right to left. My foot's turned during the contact. The ball's hitting the sides of my foot, so I don't really have that much great control of it over the ball and what the ball's doing. So more practice, and I will get better. But the goal is, can I keep it consistent at getting it to about waist level, hip level, and get to 50. Sometimes I'll probably do like a little bit more or a little bit extra, again, so I can feel satisfied or make up the ones I made a mistake on. Pop up with the left foot, and so on. There's a lot of toes right there. If you just like look at my foot, the angle of my foot, or where the ball's touching my foot, you can tell what surface I'm hitting in and why the ball's doing that. Ideally, I want to get that toe pointed out a little bit more without curving my foot backwards, so the ball stops spinning backwards. It'll be more flat in that realm. Going to alternate now. Try to alternate to like hip level. And you can see like how I'm trying to like really focus on smoother, cleaner touches. It's going to go straight up with like minimum spin and not spinning super fast. That's like what's going through my mind. I may not execute it properly, but that's what's going through my mind. Trying to get my foot flat, under control, locked in, pointed out straight. So there's a flat surface, swinging up so the ball goes straight up. And I'm nice and relaxed while I do that. But yeah, again, try to get to 50 or more, or to a number or rhythm that I feel satisfied with by alternating feet. I did not know I was off the camera frame when I was juggling there. Okay, I think I'm like thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing right here. Okay, these are low, high, so 1, 2, pop up, 1, 2, pop up. And I'm trying to start right now at eye level, chest to eye level, and build a rhythm to make sure it's 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up, and then back down, 1, 2, up. These are all with the right foot in terms of like kicking it up and controlling it first with the low, touch. Trying to get to 50 here. I feel way more confident with my right foot, way more smoother. So that's the reason why there's like a long rhythm and pattern with it. There's a lot smoother touch with the right foot. But again, I'm trying to think of like, can I get the ball to spin less when I kick it up high? And can I have a nice surface for it to, flat surface for it to land on whenever I kick it back up for the low touch? Good challenge for anyone working on their juggles. Low, low, high. But target your right foot. Try to get to eye level to start. And then later on do it more challenging by go to extreme height by kicking it higher up above your head. Again, I don't think I counted during this time that much, but I just wanted to build up more confidence, build up more control of my touches, find good rhythms to end on, and so on. But the goal is, can I get to 50 completed, quality touches like that? I'm a lot, at this point, I'm a lot happier for sure. Because it's more consistent. It feels good with the touches and so on. So moving on to my left foot. This one's a struggle for sure. Again, it's because my foot keeps turning and it's not as flat as it should be. But I start off pretty decent, I believe. Trying to get it nice and under control. Trying to control the spin of the ball. But I'm even right now when I'm doing the voiceover, I'm really looking at my foot. Because most of the time I'm making mistakes today is because I'm having too soft of a touch on my first touch to where it doesn't bounce up enough. Kind of want the ball to bounce back up to at least knee to waist level. So I can get it under control by the second touch. It'll give me plenty of time to adjust my feet, keep my balance. Same thing, trying to go to 50. Trying to knock the ball up with my left foot, trying to control it with the left foot first. Second low touch would be with the right foot before I pop it back up. Yesterday the ball was moving all over the place. It was going off the sides of my foot a lot, chasing the ball a lot. Today it was just okay, if I made a mistake, it was just too soft of a touch. But over time, a couple months down the road, maybe even a year from now, the left foot would be much, much better if I keep working on this kind of stuff on my own time. But the goal of this, like doing this kind of stuff, is working on your control and your touches at different levels without it touching the ground. Obviously, if you're doing it within like 3 to 4 touches, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like if you're able to do that, then you're able to like control and make the ball do what you want it to do. So I'm trying to find that rhythm. The rhythm is super important. Like I'm making the ball do what I want it to do, essentially. And then the other aspects is like the spin of the ball. Like you see how much I'm moving. Maybe confine myself to a space and do that too. Those are just like the next layers that I can do to control, work on control. Sorry for the dump truck in the background. Pretty sure you'll be able to hear that. And my computer fan. And so on. Again, get to 50 or get to a number you feel satisfied with. I know I'm trying to end on a proper number, like consistency in a row, like 3 to 5 quality touches in a row before I stop. That's just like me being like picky and making up for the mistakes that I did. All right, I think I'm done here. To where I'll take a break, grab some water, check the battery life, see what's next. Oh, I don't take a break here. This one's the challenging one right now. This is the over the head control. Over the head and control. This one's difficult. This one's about like kind of the same as yesterday. I think I do end up finding a decent rhythm to end on. But for the most part, it is definitely, most of the time I'm messing up is when it hits my left foot. Because again, my foot's curved the wrong way. Or I'm not hitting it hard enough like that. That was like way too soft. It's more like in cushion control. Yeah, like that. Because I'm hitting it more so like toe area rather than my laces. The key is keep challenging yourself like this. Keep your eye on the ball. And make sure that foot is flat enough to where there's a solid surface for it to hit smoothly and bounce straight up. I think I'm trying to get to 50 as well on this one, 30 to 50. I didn't really count. but I'm trying to go long enough to where I get at least 50 reps in, good or bad. But obviously, I'm like competitive enough to try to get it to be majority good and then poor. Even like today, when I was making like some of these mistakes during this round and the next round, I still had like a positive attitude because it was just like, okay, I need to figure out why my foot's doing this. How can I correct it? Like where target like the mistake areas and try to fix it. Usually is with the foot, the spin of the ball, the quality of the touch, the surface that it's touching, etc. This one I'm trying to like alternate too. So sometimes I kick it over with my head with the right, control with the right, or control with the left. Sometimes I kick it over with the left, like that, try to like this. If I don't get it correctly, then I make sure I do it correctly. And control with the left or the right foot, kick it over, and take a touch. Just simply going outside playing with the ball like this, you will get better for sure. You and the ball become best friends. I'm like almost slipping over there for sure. I'm like clapping, clapping to be like, okay, that's like good enough, happy enough, or just motivating myself, like keep going, keep going. Okay, so now these are high lows, but more extreme. Trying to kick it super high before controlling it. These are challenging as well. I think there's a good rhythm too at like random times. There are definitely plenty of mistakes, but it's like usually again is with the left foot. Stuff like that where it's just way too soft. Try some with the right, try some with the left. You can just see how that ball just spins off my foot. Again, angle of my foot, no flat surface, the spin of the ball, and so on. Try to use the wall to keep it up. At this point, I'm trying to find like a good rhythm to end on before I move on to the next activity. I think this is where I found that rhythm of like multiple in a row are like pretty good. Yep, so I'm going to move on to the next round. I think this is where I do get a break because I'm like walking over, juggling over, and so on. So quick drink, quick check of the battery life. Then we're going to move on to the wall. The wall work. Wall work improves greatly today, and I definitely ended on a better note. Than I did yesterday. Again, my target is trying to find that white line or above, but with enough pace for it to come back to me. So I'm going to start with like the inside of my foot, like right foot, but I'm probably going to take like a couple juggles in between. So like kind of like that speed to where it comes back, I can challenge my first touch. The lower it is like difficult to pop it back up again. That's what I'm trying to find, like the white line or above. I'm trying to keep it up in the air. Like it can bounce back, whatever. I want to have a good touch and find a rhythm of like control, kind of like low, high, where I control it a couple of times and then I pass it. It could be one touch, it could be multiple juggles before I get it back to the wall. But again, I'm trying to find that white line or slightly above it. It could be high like that one, but yeah. I want it to be driven, kind of. But that's literally like the angle of your foot. That was a pretty, like, good strike. I'm not trying to control it out of the air just yet. I want it to bounce so I can practice taking touches off the bounce. Either inside, laces, thigh, whatever. Trying to get it, find like a nice little rhythm. Or drive it, kind of like that. I'm going to try to end it with no bounce. That's the challenging part, but this is like the beginner step is where you let it bounce and then you pop it up and then hit it against the wall again. But again, trying to find a specific area of the wall to hit. The white line's easy to look at, so it's an easy target to try to aim at every time. It's difficult to hit depending on the angle of your foot. If I get too underneath the ball will go higher. If I hit too high on the ball, the curve of the ball, it will go lower. I gotta try to find the center spot. Gotta find the center sweet spot of my foot and like the ball. I think before I end it, I try to get to like, can I hit the white line like three to five times? I really focus on hitting the actual white line or very, very close to it. So before I switch it to the left, I think I try to do that or try to find a rhythm. I think I'm moving on to my left foot now. Yep. Moving on to the left foot. Start off a little rusty. But that I do improve. I'm trying to find a rhythm, popping it up. Inside laces, thigh, whatever. Find a rhythm of juggling it and then getting it back. At this point, I'm like close to 40 minutes in. It's about 38th minute here. And you can see like how many touches I'm like getting in. I'm constantly juggling, constantly passing the ball. I'm trying to play quick again, pop it back up and play again. So again, I'm consistently touching the soccer ball with different surfaces of my foot and my body so that I can get better. This is about a 53 minute workout of just me and the ball. Obviously not total because about 8 of that was the warm-up, but the rest is for sure with the ball. Constantly touching it. And again, I'm trying to find the white line or above it. Try to use my left foot as much as possible. Even if I pop it up with my right, I'm striking it back every time with the left. If it comes to my left, I will pop it up with my left before I kick it back. Now we're doing laces. I'm trying to strike it a little bit hard enough. Kind of similar to the insides. I'm trying to get it there with pace at the white line or slightly above so it bounces back fast. For the laces, just trying to keep my toe down the whole time during the process, during the strike of it. This is great to work on your first touch. Control it quickly, thigh, foot, strike. No matter how low or high, I'm trying to get it back under control and back to the wall. We are about at the 42nd minute. Eventually, I'm going to end up doing my left foot as well. Again, you can set a number. I'm like not counting at all during this moment. I just going until it feels good, until I get about 50 or more reps. It's mainly about focusing on my technique, rhythm, and so on. I'm using the outside of my foot too in some situations like that to control the ball inside the foot. Laces, thigh, whatever surface I can get it to, I will try to control it. Left foot here. And can I get it to that white line or above? My left foot likes to flick up a lot sometimes. So it's all about self-discipline, trying to keep that toe pointed down all the way through the connection. So again, there's a nice flat surface where your laces are to get it there. But the most part, I'm like happy with it because I'm getting it consistently for majority of my strikes to that white line or above or slightly below. And it's going at like a decent speed. I'm controlling it pretty quickly and controlling it. One, just like that, I'll just play. But I'm trying to get like one to like maybe three juggles in before I strike it. So yeah, I felt like I had more control in it. Now I think I'm going to alternate. That's why I'm stepping up a little bit closer. Trying to alternate now with my laces. I believe so. Right now it's inside the foot, I guess, alternating. Yeah. Alternate with the inside, control quickly, and then kick it with the opposite foot. Finally got a rhythm going. Try to go to a closer range to where the reaction has to be a little bit faster. And it bounces at an awkward level, so I gotta either bend the knee, I gotta raise the foot, something. Use the outside part of my foot, whatever. But yeah, alternate feet. Same kind of concept. Lots and lots of touches. The white line is my target, or above. When it's low, it's whatever, but it's more difficult to deal with because it won't bounce that much. You can see why I'm like a lot happier with today because I'm consistently getting it to the targets. I'm definitely still messing up, but not as much as yesterday. Now laces alternating. I find a pretty good rhythm. It's a pretty close range too, so I'm trying to move with it, trying to have the proper technique with my toe pointed down. I like eventually get into a rhythm like this. Where I just do one touch multiple times. Left and right foot. Toe down. Try to drive it towards that white line. I think I tried to move on to the next activity without taking a break. And I was like, I need to go drink some water, check the battery life, and so on. So whenever I checked it, I'm like, oh, okay, the battery's about to die. So I gotta make it count, quick drink, and then I'm at it. I want to end on a good note, so I want to essentially juggle without the ball hitting the ground and knock it against the wall. That is the goal. So I gotta get closer to the wall. I gotta stay on my feet. I start off slow, struggling with touches. I gotta find a rhythm. This is like better than what it was yesterday, but I wasn't like totally satisfied at this moment. Because there's like one moment like that where I have a poor touch inside the foot. Like, there's gonna be one mess up with the inside of the foot where I didn't like it, so I like practiced it. Yeah, like that. So I picked it up. Oh, sorry, I'm like tying my shoes here. Yeah, right there. So I like grab it and I'm like, okay, it keeps hitting like my ankle bone, and like sometimes even higher up my ankle. So I'm like getting frustrated in my head at those moments because it's just like I raise my foot a little bit higher, so it doesn't do that anymore. Yeah, like that. So I grab it and I try to practice it like one time, like to get the proper hip and level of it, and then I end on a good note here. Overall, it's like much better than what it was yesterday, but I end up finding a better rhythm here to juggle, knock it against the wall, keep moving, kick it against the wall, juggle again without it touching the ground. Better inside touches there from both feet. Again, essentially, it's like identifying the target of like why you're making a mistake and then trying to correct it, even if you have to slow down and practice. But yeah, this is a lot better to end on. That's why I'm like clapping too. Like, yay. Much better than day 3. Thanks for watching.